All right, we are live. Hey, everybody, how's it going? Today's live stream, we have a special guest. We're joined by Chris Grant at Clear the Shelf on socials. Chris is a really great teacher for online arbitrage and puts out a ton of great content. So, super excited to have him here today, kind of introduce himself a bit. And then we're really going to be deep diving into a free tool that he offers called Sales Gazer. It's a really awesome tool. Everyone on my team uses it. I used it back when I was doing all my own sourcing. So super excited to have Chris here and dive into that. So Chris, thank you for joining us today. If you want to go ahead and just kind of introduce yourself.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it. So my name's Chris Grant. I've been an Amazon seller for a long time now, over a decade, and once I kind of finally figured out, or at least started learning about online arbitrage, I thought that it would be a good idea to start, making content around it, YouTube videos and blogs and things like that. And then we also started making some tools and softwares that we thought would kind of scratch our own itch, and ended up, also fixing some problems that were out there for other people. And so we created Sales Gazer, of course, which we're going to talk about, and IP Alert. Created RevRoi, and then several courses and things, just to try to, I don't know, try to fix the issues that were out there. And Sales Gazer, for example, it's, for years and years and years, people have been like, oh, go and subscribe to every single email, and then you've got to, clean out your inbox, or, allow one of them to get absolutely murdered with sales emails, and have your email sold over and over again, so it becomes less effective over time. And so we thought, why don't we just clean that up and kind of make a service that people can use to see all of these sales emails that come in without all the extra stuff that seems to happen with emails from companies.
Awesome. Thanks for that intro. Do you want to go ahead and dive into a screen share, walk through Sales Gazer?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Looks like
can.
we got a couple people dropping messages. Ruben says Rev ROI is the best. So we
Oh,
already got an
awesome.
endorsement. Yeah, I've used it too. It's a pretty solid tool. Cool. Yeah. So, guys, if you have any questions while we're doing this demo, feel free to drop a message in the chat.
So, like Logan said, Sales Gazer is absolutely free. It's not much to look at because it was free. It's free for everybody. We don't charge anything, and basically what it does is it creates a catch-all email for you instantaneously without you having to do any other work. So once you sign up, you can go ahead and sign in, and what you're going to see is what looks like an email inbox. And right now you can see, I actually haven't been in here in a few days, but I've got 16,507 emails, and they are all sales emails from different sites. You can see here, Bellacore.com has a 25% off flash sale going on, and we keep scrolling. We're going to see that over and over and over again, just sales emails. Now, we do offer a couple of affiliate links in here that people can use, but it's not necessary, and we mark those as promo so you can easily skip by them. But that's essentially what it is. You can look at these emails. So we'll open up chicos.com here, and it's just like in your own email inbox without you having to go and delete it or open up another email or anything like that. You can move it to trash. You can go back to your inbox, whatever you want to do here. And then you can also search by store. So let's say, for example, that I want to see what's going on at Walgreens right now. Well, I can just type in Walgreens into this little search bar, and it will pull up all of the Walgreens emails that are there for me. You can see the last one was 4/21 of 2023. Not a sales email, but an email nonetheless. And then let me just go back out of here, go back to my inbox. The other thing we can do is we've got a search feature up at the top right, which allows you to search all of the messages. So let's say, for example, that we want to search 50% emails. So we'll put in 50% there. And now we've got all the emails pulled back in date order that have 50% somewhere in the email. Typically, it's going to be in the subject line, but not always. Sometimes it might be in the actual email itself. And so we can see here that Neiman Marcus has a flash sale up to 50% off. And we can dive in and see exactly what they're selling there, what their sale is on, which is just a little click through. And then we can click on that and it'll take us directly over to the website. Now, this one is a little off. I don't know why it went to Horchow. That's weird. Maybe that's one of their, oh, there it is. It's one of their brands. So that's exactly what that is. But essentially, I mean, that's as difficult as it is to use the feature, the inbox feature. But what I typically see people get confused about is when you first sign up for an account, this is blank. You're not going to see anything at all in the inbox. And so people will assume that it's not working. But what you have to do is you can run over to the little gear icon up in the top right hand corner, and we can then start choosing what store letters we want to subscribe to. And you'll see here that I'm not subscribed to Barneys.com or Ashford.com, but I am subscribed to BaseballMonkey.com. And so you can go through here and choose any one that you want. We support several different marketplaces, so this does work in all the marketplaces right now. So Germany, UK, USA, etc. And you can sort by what marketplace you might be interested in. So I'll go with USA. In the US, we've got 939 different stores that you can subscribe to. And you could subscribe to all of them if you want. You can click on this here and subscribe to the selected ones. You can unsubscribe to all of them, or you could go through manually to each one of these and say, you know what, I do want to see Barney's and Ashford and Mill Creek Botanicals, etc., and so on. You can also unsubscribe in bulk or by singles. So you can knock these out here, hit unsubscribe, all those. And this is 20 per page. So we've got several other pages to go through as well, and you've got to do that for each one. So it does take a few minutes to set up, but it's really pretty simple to use. And then finally, we've got a suggest new site feature. So if you have a new site that is not currently being tracked by us, you can suggest it, and we'll try to get it added for you if it's at all possible. Sometimes these sites don't like what we're doing, but we usually can get around it. Let's see if there's anything else here. Yeah, that's really about it. We tried to make this as simple as possible, and make sure that everyone could have an inbox outside of what they what they might have to do normally, or set up filters in their own Gmail or anything like that. And then we wanted to make it as searchable as possible, just so you can find sales that are happening and kind of manufacture that ROI on your inventory.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, it's super simple, but I think this live demo is going to be helpful for people. What I think is the best feature about SalesGazer is a lot of times what I hear from sellers is, I don't know where to source. So in that settings where you can go through and subscribe to all these sites, this is like right there. You have a list of sites that you can go and look through and find new sources to source from.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, if you want to get outside of the Targets and the Walgreens and the Kohl's and things like that, I mean, there are a ton here. We tried to grab stores like all across the gamut, whether they're a brand like thermos.com or some direct-to-consumer sites like gooder.com. We really wanted to try to bring in as many of these as possible.
Yeah. Awesome. So we got a few messages here. We got Filled by Amazon in the chat. He says he appreciates not having 500 emails in the inbox every day.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Ruben says, I have Macy's selected, but he's not getting those emails. Any idea what might be going on there?
Let's take a look here. I'm not showing any Macy's either. I'll tell you what, there's a little feature right here in the question mark. And what you can do there, oh, that's the walkthrough. That's not what I was looking for. Where is that feature? Yeah, there we go. So there's a little what looks like a life ring up here in the top right hand corner, and that's going to open up a Gmail email for you to the support email. Just put that in there, and then we'll take a look at it and see what's going on.
Cool. Yeah, if you guys have any more questions, go ahead and drop those in the chat. I'm going to post a link here in the comments to SalesGazer. If you guys are ready to get signed up, like we said, it's 100% free. It's just a really great tool that you can take advantage of for your online arbitrage business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be completely honest too. A lot of times this would be used as like a lead gen to get emails and stuff from people, but I'm really bad at it. So I have never even pulled the emails out of here to send emails to or anything. So you won't even get bothered by me.
Cool. Chris, do you want to touch base on the couple other tools that you have? Just kind of explain those in a little more detail in case anyone's interested.
No, sure. Yeah. So there's also RevRoi. So let's actually go over to Macy's.com. Macy's is having a sale today. They've got 30% off friends and family and 15% off beauty. And of course, that is helpful for Amazon sellers. But the other thing that we want to do is we always want to kind of manufacture our ROI. And one of the ways to do that, one of the best ways, is of course gift cards, which will help you grab a little extra margin. And then we want to get as much cash back as possible. Now, when I started doing OA, there were there were fewer cashback sites than there are now. But there was Rakuten, or which was Ebates at the time, and there were a couple of others. And to make sure that I got the best cash back, I had to have all of the extensions installed, and they were all popping off. And it just made the experience of sourcing a little less enjoyable. So we wanted to simplify it, and that's where RevRoi came from. So what you can do with RevRoi is it looks like this little dashboard icon here. You left click on the extension on whatever site you're on. And the first thing it's going to do is it's going to tell you where the highest cashbacks are available. Now, you do need to double check and make sure that everything is legit with these. We scrape this data from all over the place, and so it's as accurate as it can possibly be. But we can see here, Retail Me Not is showing 10%, and then there's a couple of stars. So we need to check on this. And then I see Top Cashback looks like they've got 5%, but they may have an 8.5% going on right now for maybe for this sale or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Top Cashback, and it's going to take you to the deal page on Top Cashback and let you know what you can get. And then you can go through this portal to make sure that it is counting for your cashback. All right. And we try to make it super simple. We don't make an affiliate commission off that or anything. It actually the affiliate commission ends up going to whatever site we've scraped that data from, which we use a couple. And then the other thing you can do is when you have RevRoi open, you can also see gift cards. And if there are any sites that have discount gift cards available, it'll show up for you. Right now it's saying nothing is found for Macy's, but let's go into RevRoi and let's actually search. So we're going to search for Target, and that way you can know beforehand, before you even open up the website, what things are available for you. We've got the cash back. Let's see if any discard. Yeah. So on Target, over at Card Cookie, we can get 7% discounted gift cards. All right. And that's really all this does. It's super simple, but it allows us not to see 7 different extensions try to pop up. And then what I often see happen is cashback extensions will often interfere with other extensions. So I've seen them interfere with RevSeller. I've seen them interfere with IP Alert and several others. And so it's nice not to have to deal with all of that. And RevRoi costs $0. You can download it for free and use it to your heart's content.
Another awesome free tool here. Drop a link here to download that Chrome extension if you guys are interested. And then I'd also love to hear about IP Alert.
Yeah, absolutely. So with IP Alert, what we wanted to do is a few years ago, what happened is IP complaints started happening, and at first it was very new, and everyone was very confused as to what was going on. And my buddy Nate wrote a blog post about what brands were filing IP complaints, and we took some people from FBA Today, which is a Facebook group that we run, and asked them, who was giving them a hard time, and he put that into a really good blog post just to help sellers. As soon as he hit publish, I said, you know what? I said, a couple of things are going to happen. One, this information is going to change all the time because there are going to be brands who decide they want to file IP complaints and then they're going to stop. There are going to be new brands that are coming on the scene all the time. And it's not going to be possible to keep a blog post up to date, up to the minute, and have people go and check it all the time. So I said, we've got to turn this into a Chrome extension. So we had it built so that we would have this database of brands that we can edit and do the research on. And then it just pops up whenever there is a brand that we know that files an IP complaint. So here's what you'll see if you actually use the extension. If we hop in here and we go to, let's say, a Nike listing on Amazon, you're just going to see a little green check mark by the brand. And what that means is we don't have any evidence that this particular brand is filing IP complaints. They seem to be fine. Now, the thing is that we're in a dynamic marketplace. So sometimes, we're wrong, and you will hop on a listing with a brand that'll file an IP complaint. But the extension is we want our users to report those to make sure that we can keep it updated, we do the research, and make sure that other sellers are protected. And that's how we've grown the database so large so quickly. So when you're using it, if you're like, you know what, Nike does file IP complaints, you can left click on the IP Alert extension and you can click brand report right here. And it'll allow you to file a little, notification that says, hey, this brand is filing a complaint. We require the ASIN. We require to know what brand it is. And we also require evidence, like a screenshot of an IP complaint or things like that. And then I'll go out and I actually do all the research myself. I'll check seller forums. I'll check Reddit. I'll go and check a few other places that I'm aware of, and I will check between 50 and 100 Keepa charts to see if I can make sure that there's evidence that this is happening across the entire brand. And I'll make sure that the IP complaint didn't come from someone with maybe a .qq or at qq.com email address, or some black hat service that might be out there. And then we'll add them to the database. The other thing we do is we try to remove brands if we know that they've stopped filing complaints. So an example of this would be Starbucks. Starbucks, for a very brief period of time, was filing IP complaints on their mugs and tumblers, but they were not filing any complaints on things like coffee. So we added them to the IP Alert database for about a month. And then come to find out, they completely stopped and they never started doing it again. So we were able to take them away from IP Alert. That way we can make sure that it's a living, breathing extension that offers up-to-the-date information. And sometimes I'll even hop on a brand and risk one of my seller accounts and sell products to see if I get IP complaints, just to make sure that we're actually doing our due diligence here. Yeah. And before we move on, I'll show you when we know a brand is filing IP complaints. This is what it looks like. So we'll open up, what is the name of that brand? Sharper Image. Sharper Image is one that does not like third-party sellers.
They were my first IP complaint.
Oh, were they really? Yeah, they're a pain. So Sharper Image, I wonder who bought their IP after they closed down all their stores. I should find that out. But this brand is known to file IP complaints, along with a few others. But you get a nice little pop-up box here that you can't do anything on the page until you acknowledge that this brand files IP complaints. And that's just to make sure that you know that you've seen it. Now, a lot of people will ask me, well, can I not sell the products where, you guys say that there's an IP complaint? No, you absolutely can if you're approved. That depends on your risk tolerance. And I know some people who, are avid users of IP Alert and they ignore most of them and sell through just fine. And then other people who want to be more cautious. So we've got to remember that IP Alert it's just one piece of the puzzle that you want to be looking at rather than kind of the end all be all. But we do want to help sellers protect their accounts as much as we can.
Yeah, definitely. I always tell people the IP alert is a good warning. It's not necessarily something that should make you just run away. So we
Hmm.
always use it as a prompt to then investigate and look at the data further before making a decision.
Exactly.
Cool. So yeah, that's another awesome tool. Here's a link if you guys want to get signed up, and you can type in coupon code LA30 off to get a bit of a discount on the license there as well.
Oh,
Is
nice.
it
Yeah.
100 a year or 200 lifetime? Is that the pricing?
Yes, that sounds right. And
Okay.
then your code will take 30 off either one of those.
Cool. Awesome. So yeah, guys, we'll open it up for a few minutes for questions. If you have any questions about any of Chris's tools that we covered, feel free to drop those in the chat. We'll go for just a few more minutes here. Chris, you're on pretty much all platforms, right? At Clear the Shelf.
Yeah, yeah, everywhere. I'm at Clear the Shelf everywhere. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even YouTube. I've now got the at Clear the Shelf handle,
Nice.
and then that's my blog as well. We've really been trying to grow that out and create a lot more content for the Amazon seller.
Sweet. All right. Well, if there's no more questions, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. You guys can feel free to message Chris on any platforms if you have further questions. But besides that, thank you guys for watching. Chris, thank you very much for your time and taking time out of your day to break down these tools for my audience.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you.
All right. See you guys.